Here we'll show how to run PythonREST in VS Code. Firstly, we need to make sure that the Python extension is installed in our VS Code. To check this, we go to the Extensions section and look for the installed extensions. You'll check the list, and the one we need to install is the one for running Python applications, specifically Python from Microsoft. In my case, it's already installed and enabled. If it's not installed, you can install and enable it as shown here. Taking that out of the way, let's demonstrate how it would be if we went directly to VS Code, using its tools to set up the Venve and run our application, as opposed to setting up with terminal commands. So, here we have a newly generated API. Clicking on the requirements.txt file, a button appears to create the environment. Clicking on this button, it will handle the same tasks we did in the command line earlier, but now in a fully automated way. Here, you'll select the installation of Python from the machine, and it will ask about the dependencies to install. Just click on the requirements.txt file. Like before, this process might take some time, and we'll be back once it's done. After setting up the Venve, a message should appear in the corner of the screen, stating that the configuration was successfully done. Now, we can run our application. Click on the app.py file to display it on the screen like mine, and then click on the button that says Run Python File. This button is available thanks to the extension installed earlier. Now, copy your base URL and go to the browser. In the browser, paste the URL, insert the /swagger to access the main Swagger root of the project. And that's how we can run it using VS Code. Now, for a brief demonstration of how we would run this project in PyCharm. As soon as you open the project in PyCharm, it will detect our requirements.txt and ask if we'd like to create the virtual environment based on this file. The default settings should be correct, including the default location for Venve, the Python interpreter from our machine, and the dependencies from our requirements.txt. Just click OK and wait for the creation of the virtual environment. This takes some time, and you can follow the progress through the bar at the bottom. We'll return once it's finished. When it's done, you'll notice that the status bar at the bottom disappears, indicating completion. Now, you have the Venve folder with the necessary project dependencies. Next, open app.py on the screen. With it open, simply right-click anywhere in the file, and click where it says Run app.py. It will automatically create a base configuration for our project based on Venve. You'll see that it picked up the Python executable from Venve and, consequently, the Venve dependencies as well. If it doesn't configure correctly and an error occurs, check the Run configuration at the top. Open the settings and verify that it points to the correct script. Our app.py, the Python installation it's using must be from Venve, and the working directory is our projects. If everything looks good, click OK. Now, you can run the project by clicking this green button, the green arrow. Click Run, and it will run the application just like in VS Code. Grab your local URL to enter it into the browser. Here in our browser, paste the base URL and then add the path you want. In this case, we'll demonstrate the main Swagger page, which displays our SQL root contexts. If we want to test another one, we can type user likes post and go to the Swagger for that table.